My intentions now is to continue to learn, continue to move up. I hope to start competing, getting into that arena, but really just to learn. I find it fascinating, all the different combinations and styles that you can attack and counterattack while you're sparring. I only know a very small portion of it, and I just want to grow. I want to learn more and know what's the right moves to make at the right times. Great Grappling is an excellent school. I've been in martial arts for years, and it has a really good family feel, and an excellent teacher. I've never met someone that can instruct you on just where to move your finger and everything will go right. I hope Great Grappling doesn't lose that. I think it should grow. I think a lot of people can benefit from professors training and even people like Piper and Nelson. I think we can learn a lot. So I hope the school grows, but I still hope it stays the same with the amount of detailed in training and just the pure family feel and brotherhood that we have here.
My goal now is eventually I want to be good enough to earn my black belt under Jeremy, and maybe someday even have my own Great Grappling somewhere other than here, I know. But I mean, just to eventually earn my black belt, be good enough to wear one and be an instructor. I'd like to see Jeremy wind up taking this to having multiple schools all over the country. I mean, if he can train instructors to be his type of instructor, I think that would be something that'd be good for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in general.
Yeah, so when I started, it was mostly about fitness. It was mostly about getting those pounds off, and now it's looking more toward competition, more toward I competed last time at New Breed and won my division, so now it's do I step up a division? I didn't do very well in the gi. Can I learn more techniques in the gi to do better there as well? So it's always about the next challenge. So for the future of the Academy, I hope that they continue to get people in here, continue to grow. I know this is the second building they've been in, and they probably are getting enough members that they're going to be looking toward a third, and that they continue to compete at a high level and win the regional tournaments, and just keep getting great grapplers in here so that I have lots of people to kick my ass.
I don't think they've changed too much. I think when I started, I was more in line with just wanting to do some sort of martial arts, again, with the health and the weight loss. I want to continue doing it for that, but rather than continue with other mixed martial arts or other forms of martial arts, I want to stick with Jiu-Jitsu. I enjoy the sport. I enjoy what it has to offer. It's the gentle sport, and that's one of the things I love about it. There's not really too much gentle about it, but I really enjoy coming out night after night when I can, and just kind of giving it my all. I want to see Jeremy, and I want to see Great Grappling, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I want to see it explode. I mean, we've come such a long way in the time that I've been here, in the short time that I've been here. I know Jeremy pours his heart and soul into the school. You see it on a day-to-day basis with the amount of time and the attention that he gives the students. I think this school has the potential of becoming one of the biggest names in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu around the country, and I'd love to see that happen, and I'd love to be a part of it.
Yeah, I mean, so now that I'm, I've got some experience with the art, I'm moving towards being a more well-rounded grappler and learning the intricacies of the art. It's quite a journey. It's it's a marathon instead of a sprint. So just looking at it long term at this point, it's something I think I'll do for the rest of my life. The environment here is fantastic. So I'd love to see it continue to grow and to continue to get new people, continue to see my friends and training partners get better. Fantastic environment.
I think initially when I first started, it was not knowing that there are people in the United States, but in Brazil, people who are in their 60s and 70s and 80s who are still doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I think initially it was kind of like, not so much short term, but I was going to participate as long as I could, and kind of giving myself, well, there's probably going to come a point where I'm not going to want to do it anymore, or can't do it anymore. And now I'm just very open-minded as far as that I will continue to do this as long as I physically can, as long as I can get myself here and get myself on the mat. And I think it's the type of sport that even as you get older, and let's say you don't have that, that strength and drive and aerobic ability to stay at a certain pace in class, you can still participate in the class. You can still learn, you can still roll, you can still do the techniques. And I think the great thing about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu too is that the people that you work with understand who they're working with. So there's, if somebody isn't in great shape, or someone is kind of not really strong or in shape, the partner works with them and kind of stays at their level, so there's this cooperation with the other students in the class. And since I see that, every class, my feeling is as long as I can continue to get myself on the mat and function, that I'll be here participating in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I'm excited, and I was excited when from the first school moving in here to the second location, and as the school grows, it's just there's an energy when you have more students in the school and more students in the class. There's kind of this camaraderie and positive energy. Everybody's learning, everybody's having fun, and as the school grows, that will grow too, and you'll be able to have more students not only to practice your techniques with, but also be able to roll with and use what you learn in class to further develop your skills in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
When I first started, I would have, as Jeremy says, I would have pushed my mom down a flight of stairs for a blue belt. So I guess with that goal being reached, now, I would really love to progress uninjured or injury-free and eventually see the rank of a black belt, because unless you're a stud, I guess, or you're really training at this, or you're really just a natural at it, it's going to take someone of I guess, my age and my ability probably 11 to 15 years, if not more, to achieve the rank of a black belt. So that would be a huge accomplishment, not only in jiu-jitsu, but in life in general. I want to see it get huge. Jeremy's taking it from a small school as it was, where a big class on a Monday night would be maybe 10 people, to now on a Monday night we're packing in with 30, and not only with just white belts, but with blues and purples and browns. So the student, I guess, the belts are more, whereas when we first started, a blue belt was like, wow. Now, so the blue belts, there's 2, sometimes 3 rows of blue belts.
Well, to be honest, my intentions have not changed that much. I just want my game to keep getting better. I've got different aspects of my game that I want to work on. I really want to work on my top game, because my bottom game is definitely my stronger game. But of course, everybody's finding ways around that now. So again, constantly changing. But I guess now my goal, now that I'm a blue belt, I really want to work at getting ready for the blue belt level of tournament. Every time you get a new belt, the water just gets deeper. So I guess that's really where I am right now. I just want to continue developing my game. As far as the belts and podiums or whatever, those will come when they need to get here. I'm not chasing anything as far as that's concerned. I just want my game to improve and my tournament level to improve. What's happening right now, I want to see it keep happening, and I want to see it happen tenfold. I love to see new people in here. new faces. I want to continue to see the school grow. I think what Great Grappling is doing, I think what Professor Arel is doing is remarkable. I've trained at other schools before. As a teacher myself, I really like the way he sets up curriculum. He creates a setting where people can start brand new and feel comfortable and in a safe environment kind of work their way into Jiu-Jitsu. I think it's really unique what we offer here. I definitely will never go anywhere else, and I hope that the Carolina area can see really what Great Grappling has to offer, and we just keep growing as a school.
I guess when I started, it was just to get better. Now it's to not only get better, but to also be the best at specific things. But not only that, I also want to instruct and hopefully someday own my own school. So it's really had a deep impression on me and what I want to do in my future. I hope Great Grappling just gets bigger, gets larger, more people see it, more people come to it, and more people get to enjoy it. I think it's a great place for people to go and meet a lot of great people. I think it's the people that make this place great. So the more people that come here, just the greater it would be.
When I first started, like I said, it was all about MMA, and it was all about being the next UFC champion, that kind of thing. Obviously, I'm beyond those years now. At this point, I just want to keep doing BJJ for the rest of my life. At some point in my future, I want to come home from training and set down my black belt on my floor and look at all the stripes that I've earned over the years, and just be ready to come back and train again the next day. I'd love to see this school continue to grow. It's not just a school; it's a team, it's a family. It's a great atmosphere here, and I would just love to see that keep growing and keep building, and just get as big as it could possibly get.
Yeah, so I'm hoping to make that my lifestyle. I'm hoping to make that my career. I'm hoping to make that the center point of everything that I do with my life. I feel like it's the one thing that I've done for years on end that the more that I do it, the more I love it. I've been training since I was 17, and I love it more now than I did then. When I have a good day of training, when I've been training hard for 2 months straight, I'm not sick of it. I'm more into it. And I would love to do that for the rest of my life. Those are my intentions. I want to eventually, I'd like to be known as a tough competitor. I'd like to have good competitions at purple belt, at brown belt, and if I can, I'd like to compete, as high as I can at black belt. But I think long term, competition is not really want to go. I want to teach. I want to own my own gym one day. I'd like for this to be, on the mat is where I stay. Man, there's so many things I hope for this place. This place has been, at times, my house. This has been my shelter. This is where I stay. And I am hoping for it to continue to grow. And I don't really hope for it because I know it's going to happen. So it's not really like oh, one day I hope this is just, I wish for the best. No, I see things getting better. I see things getting stronger, and I'm waiting for the new build. Waiting to move into a new building. We'll have different classes. I'm hoping one day we go towards a gym that will have like a fundamentals class, and then like the advanced class, and we'll have like a wrestling class and a judo class. We'll have several different teachers and people coming in from all over the world to come train there for weeks at a time. That's what I'm hoping for, and I don't think that that's impossible. In fact, I think it's highly probable for something like that to happen.
I think how my goals have changed with jiu-jitsu would be that I definitely don't take it for granted at all. When you're younger, it's easier to do that. As you get older, it definitely gets tougher, but it makes you become way more efficient on the mat. And I think that's what I try to do now is, you can't waste energy or time. You have to make sure you're nailing your techniques that you want to perfect a little more than you would have maybe when you could get away with being younger, stronger, and faster. I also think the longer you do it, the more you just appreciate it. I feel like early on it was far more important for me to advance. And advancing in belt and rank is still important, but I think as you get older it becomes a little less important. As far as hoping for Great Grappling's future, I don't know that I would say I have to hope for it. I think its future is very bright, and I think you've seen growth in such a short amount of time. We've got such a large school with really a broad group of beginners that started here as white belts that are going to be working up the ranks. But I think you've seen a lot of kind of advanced practitioners migrate here from other schools because they see something special happening. And I think that something special is obviously we've got a great teacher in black belt in Professor Jeremy, but I also think it's just a really good group of training partners. You know, when you have more advanced grapplers being drawn to the school, it also kind of gives different experiences and different styles that people can learn from.
Oh gosh. Well, along the way, I had the opportunity to be an instructor for a few years, and Jeremy's provided that opportunity for me again, and it gives me a chance to give back a lot of the experiences and lessons that I've learned while on my, path as a martial artist. That's very fulfilling, so it's my intention to continue to do that as long as I can, to help those weaker than me, and provide them with confidence and to see the look on their face when they learn to move. That's really cool. Well, it looks like it's going right along the path that it should be going. It's growing organically. I think we're clipping off, 5-10 new members a month? I mean, you go out a few more years, that's a pretty big school. The instruction is great. Nobody beats the crap out of you. And your training partners are awesome. There's lots of them, lots of depth. I think we're right on the right path and should just keep doing what we're doing.
When you start jiu-jitsu, your goal tends to be, if I can just get to blue belt, I'll be good. Well, now that I'm a purple belt, my goal is clearly to reach my black belt and reach my black belt under Jeremy. And that is my goal. That is what I would strive to become, and just to continue learning, continue getting better. It's a sport that I think is great for everybody, and that is my goal, to become a black belt. I have every confidence that this school is going to grow, that we are going to continue to have a great group of students, and that we will continue to grow and expand and maybe get a bigger facility and more students and lots of people on the mats. That is what I definitely foresee in the future for Great Grappling.
When I started, it was just for a hobby, just to stay in shape. Now it's something that I see as a lifestyle. Like that's what I want to do forever. I want to maintain Jiu-jitsu is part of who I am now and what I do. So I don't see myself not doing it. So what I want for it is to be able to live the BJJ lifestyle and be able to do BJJ all day and all night, in the mornings and at night. Great Grappling, the way Professor Arel has set it up, he's setting up the students for success. So in doing that, I think that you're going to see a lot of guys grow and get well known out there and possibly do their own thing and be able to be affiliates of Great Grappling and the family get bigger and bigger.
As far as thank yous, thank you, Jeremy, for giving me the opportunity to train here at your school. Thank you to all my training partners, and a big thank you to Fred Jennings, who's again one of my best friends and introduced me to the sport. And I wouldn't be where I am without his support. So thank you.
Yeah, obviously I'd like to thank Jeremy for everything he's done for me and for the school, everything he's taught me. I'd also like to thank everybody else that I've ever rolled with. Everybody at this school, everybody I've rolled with in the past. Every one of you is a part of who I am, and I appreciate all of that.
Just that Jeremy does a great job. Just the structure, the way he works with everyone, and so it's really good. If you are remotely interested, and even if you're not, try it. It's a 1-week free trial. The worst thing you can do is come in here and get sore and never come back again. You're going to do that anyway in some other avenue or something else in your life, so why not come here and try it?
Obviously, I'd like to thank Professor Jeremy. He's definitely helped my jiu-jitsu game grow since I've been here. And always I thank all of my training partners really from the beginning to today. Without good training partners, you're never going to evolve as a grappler.
I think number one is my family for letting me have time to do this, and The brothers on the mat, they're patient. They don't rip my head off, and every time I go out there, I learn something new, and they're always helping me and teaching me. So I appreciate everything that everyone's done.
Always have to thank my wife. She's always supportive of my endeavors, and she's certainly been supportive here, and she's actually training now too, so she's got the bug as well.
But I want to give a shout out to, oh well, of course Jeremy. Jeremy has really helped me as far as teaching me how to be better at jiu-jitsu, teaching me how to be a better teacher in jiu-jitsu, teaching me how to be a better training partner in jiu-jitsu, how to deal with the stress of injuries, and it just all around everything in my game. I just feel like a completely different person than when I first came here, and that's all the credit goes to Jeremy for that. And John Piper, he's helped me incredibly as well. He's turning into a really good friend. I like hanging out with him a lot, and it's fun when we roll because we know each other's games. We know exactly what the other guy's trying to do, but in that sense, with him, we're really trying to tighten up the screws. So like I know exactly what he's going for, and I just got to find like, do I move this extra little centimeter? How much of a difference is that going to make? If I put my hand here instead of there, how much of a difference is that going to make? So he really helps me with my game, and I feel like I help him with his. Aaron, we always have good rolls. He was one of the first guys that I came in, and we really pushed each other. It's always difficult when you have a guy that's around the same level as you. I feel like sometimes those are the hardest rolls, because if you're rolling someone that's really better than you, a lot of times you can't fight. You can't really struggle for something because you know you're just going to lose it, so you let go. But if you have someone that's the same level, man, you don't want to give up those positions. You really don't. You struggle to keep where you're going. You really don't want them to go and get that sweep and get that pass. So him and I, we've had some of the most grueling rolls that I've ever had. Andy's been an amazing guy to roll with. Cake as well. Fred, Bill, all those guys. They're awesome. Awesome. Jonathan. Good guys.
Sure. First has got to be my wife and kids for letting me get out of the house and have the time to myself to come. And then, Jim McCann got me started. He was my grappling coach up in Philly. And then Jeremy Arel is fantastic. I wouldn't go anywhere else having trained here. I lucked into it, but I landed at a great spot. So, thanks, guys.
Of course, it goes without saying, Jeremy and Megan Arel for having the school and devoting themselves and their careers to providing a quality school. I mean, when I was first started looking to get back in shape with martial arts, I went to a lot of different schools. The schools aren't as clean and as organized. They didn't have the curriculums. The instructors just kind of came on mats or on floors, and they did their routines or whatever. I mean, it's a very structured program, and that really helps. So I want to just thank them, and then also just all the students. I mean, a lot of people worked with me when I first started. I didn't know anything, and I was in terrible shape, and people took their time and worked with me and were very cooperative and really helped me. And of course, just all those students, I just wanted to say thank you.
Well, I guess Kathy for putting up with me, and with her support, I've been able to do this. Train at least 3 days a week, if not more, and definitely Professor Jeremy and Megan for this school and the environment that they kind of created here, and every training partner that's ever choked the shit out of me made me better for now and in the future.
I definitely would want to thank my wife. She's my #1 supporter. Adrienne supports me in everything I do, and without her, I would be my only supporter. So she's the person that drives me other than myself. Other than that, just my training partners, Jeremy in general. Also, one of my main instructors, Brandon Quick out in Texas, he does a lot for me as well. So those people have been drastic improvements on my life and proponents of my jiu-jitsu.
Well, the guy who brought me in, his name was Anthony Quartapella, and thank him for introducing me to this way of life. And I want to thank Jeremy Arel for renewing my faith in this way of life and providing a clean, safe, respectful environment where I can learn and teach and help others.
Yeah, well, first of all, I want to thank my family, especially my wife. She's been very, very supportive. I spend a lot of time on the mats, and she's been very supportive of me being here, you know, sweating it up with a bunch of guys. So for her, number one, she's always at the tournaments, always cheering me on, number one cheerleader. Second, I want to thank Professor Arel for giving this school to me and giving jiu-jitsu to me. He's opened up a lot of possibilities for me as far as my game. And his coaching advice and his teaching advice I take very seriously, and I take it to heart. And then finally, I want to thank the people I train with. I love the guys that train here, the men and the women that train here. Wouldn't have it any other way. They're a really good group of people. We're all, you know, really close, good friends as well. So I want to thank them as well.
For one and foremost, I'd like to thank Professor Arel. He's been a brother to me. He's been a friend to me. He's been a mentor to me, and he's not necessarily softy when it comes to teaching you things. Sometimes tough love is the way he teaches, and you have to understand it and think about it when things happen. And definitely I thank him for giving me the opportunity to be part of this family, and it's important to me to be where I'm at and around good people, good training partners, good family. That's what I want to thank the most. My wife, my children, they're very supportive. It takes a lot of time being away from home and being away from the kids and watching certain things that happen in their lives. That's why I'm very thankful to them for being so patient and being so supportive in what I love to do.
Definitely would need to thank my original instructor, second-degree black belt, Louis Togno. He was a great influence, and you know, he got me into this sport, and 7 years later I'm still doing it. So I would have to thank him. I would have to thank my family, because I tend to be away a lot because I'm here at the academy often, so I would have to thank my family just for allowing me to do that, and also just for Jeremy for having a great class, a great school atmosphere, but also all of the training and rolling partners that I have had over the years. Each one of them has touched me and changed me and made me the person who I am, and have helped me with my jiu-jitsu game, and I would have to thank every one of them, most definitely.
There were a lot of people that were influential into my upbringing, and then of course in my martial arts background. So I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my parents, Colonel, First Sergeant. It really molded me as a person. And then for martial arts, obviously my uncle, he got me into martial arts. William Johnson had a big impact on my open mind for martial arts and building my love for martial arts. Louis Togno for putting up with me for 4 and a half years when I was not a very awesome student to have. And then obviously Gordo, amazing teacher, easy respect, took me under his wing and allows me to run a school and have a fantastic student base that he is both behind me and my students. Oh, and I want to thank my students because they're awesome.